M-Dog Gaming.
Welcome back to Hearthstone. This is M-Dog, and we're gonna, looks like, play an arena run here with a Paladin. We did the Warrior run yesterday where we got our first nine victory run, which, you know, got us all confident and excited and a little worried that might be leading to us having some back down to reality here today on arena. But let's see, we could have gone with any of these. I actually want to try Rogue after yesterday, thinking about Rogue a good bit. I do want to try Rogue in arena at some point, and the Druid is okay. It's not my favorite. I actually prefer a Shaman over Druid for arena out of those two for some reason, but we're going to choose Paladin and see what kind of card selection we get. Kind of got to get in the mindset of Paladin and think about where their cards are and their abilities. This is a very strange first choice. Do you want a Pirates deck or do you want a Murlocs deck? Or do you want to go on and get Lay on Hands, which is such a high mana cost. The 8 health is not great. I mean, it's okay, but the draw 3 cards could be crucial. Let's ignore the fact that this is a Pirate and a Murloc card and that they're a little bit dependent on having the other ones. They're exactly even. They're both 3 mana cost, both 3/3s. Which that's an okay 3/3. I'm gonna go. I think it's more likely that we could get another pirate because we hopefully will get a couple weapons. Oh, so I'm gonna go South Sea Captain. Alright, I like the Argent Protector. Put this guy out there and give another minion that's on the board Divine Shield. I'm not crazy about Abusive Sergeant. He's okay. Decent one, just because he gives another minion +2 attack. And Spellbreaker's kind of an expensive silence. I like the Owl better. We're going to go with Argent Protector. At this point, we probably need to go. We've got a 2 and a 3. I don't like this 4. This early, I don't want to start getting spell heavy, so we're going to go with the Raptor, a very good 2. And now we have another 2 and 2 5s. Obviously, we'll probably choose between the 5s. We've got 2 good 5s, a decent taunt here, 3/6, and a good attacking 5 because it does have stealth, decent health, and does 5 attack. I would say that that the Tiger might be a little bit stronger card overall. That's what we'll go with. Alright, so we can get a 7 here. The Guardian of Kings, okay. 5/6. Doesn't really rival many other 7 minions in terms of stats, but you're getting a little health back too. Or we can get another 3. Raid Leader is only a 2/2, but it gives our other minions +1 attack. It doesn't matter if they're adjacent to him or not. I think that's what we'll do. Here we have a taunt possibility. I'm not crazy about this 1 mana cost taunt, although I've seen it be somewhat effective against me at times, I guess, if they get this out so early, but I think we'll go with the bear here. I don't like the wisp at all. We don't need another tiger. We need a 4. And I like the Argent Protector. It'd be good to get another one, but we desperately need to get a 4 here. There's a weapon. Again, it almost doesn't matter what these are. We're going to get a weapon. The Berserker can be pretty stout, but we're going to go weapon. So we have 3, 4, and 7. War Golem's not bad. We don't have anything up there, so we'll go War Golem here. Oh boy. Okay, so we're not wanting this. The Blood Mage Thalnos, not for us, not this deck. Whenever a player casts a spell, put a copy into the other player's hand. And that sounds like it goes for both players. So I guess if you're playing against a mage, or a priest even, if you could put this behind a taunt or another threatening card, stayed out a couple turns, then you're kind of shutting down a lot of their abilities. Of course, Leroy Jenkins, and I've played Leroy once or twice so far, summon 2 1/1 whelps for your opponent, but he does have charge. So you're going to put him out and you're going to do 6 damage. If he's vulnerable though, their 2 1/1 whelps that you just gave them can then turn around and take him out. So kind of a funny little card here. I think we'll play with Leroy Jenkins. It's the least of these in terms of being situational, in my opinion. Alright, we're definitely getting a 3 on this draw, obviously. This helps with board control. The only other card we have that turns into 2 bodies is the Dragonlink Mechanic. We already have a raid leader, don't want another one. This is pretty good. We've got 1 taunt at 3. And the good thing about this one is that when it enrages, it goes attack. So that keeps them from attacking the card unless they can actually kill it in 1 shot. So if it's early, that's a good thing. But 3 damage is not that much once you get to mid-game. We have no ability to enrage it ourselves, though. I think we'll go Harvest Golem here. Alright, so we get a 4... or another 3, and neither of these 3s are my favorite 3s, so we'll probably go with the Ancient Brewmaster. Let's just see what we have. We could put the Argent Protector back out. That's a pretty good play. When you put the Brewmaster out there, you have the ability to take a friendly minion off the board. I guess if a taunt card was injured, we could do that. We could always resummon with the Mechanic. Wouldn't want to do it with Leroy, would you? Alright. Okay, Blessing of Kings is nice to give a minion 4/4. Humility is nice. It's kind of like a removal, which it is a removal basically, or at least it neutralizes their ability to do their full damage. And I don't think we have a removal yet. So based on that, you would say go Humility. But I think Blessing of Kings is a stronger card. Humility tends to come up a bunch, so we're going to go Blessing of Kings here. We do have a lot of 4s at this point, but that's okay. This is such a random card, this Holy Wrath. Draw a card and deal damage equal to its cost. So, you know, if we draw a War Golem, then we've just done 7 damage. But if we draw Equality, we've only done 2 damage for 5 mana, and we're only drawing 1 card. So, I don't know, not my favorite. Equality is removal on both sides. It affects your minions as well. Mind Control Tech, it's an okay 3. And you can kind of ignore the battle cry. It's very situational. I guess if they had a bunch of minions out, this is going to help, but at that point you're probably in trouble with Arena, how fast things build up. But we'll go Mind Control Tech. I like Hammer of Wrath here, I think. It's another ability to draw a card. And we've gotten a couple of those now, things that help us draw a card, I think, or maybe we passed on some of them. Let's see. We have nothing to draw a card. So we probably need to do that. It'd be nice to have another 2, and it's a 2 taunt, but we don't have any card draw, so we're going to do that. So here is a 3. We probably don't want the 4 at this junction. A 3, situational a little bit with that Wind Fury. We'll go there. We don't have a 6, but I just don't like that mage, so we're not going to do that. All right, so here we have a chance to get another 2 or get a 1. I like this 4 taunt, but we can't get another 4 right now. I think this might be, we already have a raptor. I think this is a good chance to get a 1. I want to at least have 1 or 2 1s, 0 to 1s in the deck, so we'll do that. That's the time to do it, I think. Now we only have 1 weapon, so I just don't think South Sea Deckhand makes sense. I don't like Voodoo Doctor because it's got 1 health, and Chillwind Yeti is one of the stronger 4s. Even though we're heavy on 4s, we're going that direction. We hopefully can get, yeah, there we go. This is a 6 that I can live with. We don't have 1 yet. Yeah, we could go Croc for another 2, but we need a 6. Another 6. It's got Divine Shield as well. I like that. Blessed Champion is nice. It doubles a minion's attack, but I think we will go with the Sunwalker here. Here's another weapon. It's between Blessing of Might and Light's Justice. Though I love the Yeti, we do want something here. I think we'll go with Light's Justice. A 5 would be okay with Taunt. When your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. A secret, very situational secret, but I think we're going to get another Argent Protector here. Another weapon or another card draw. We're going to go weapon. I think weapons are so strong in Arena. Now here is a chance to get humility. The only downside is to get a 4th 2 minion would be really nice, but we can't keep passing on removals. More card draw here probably. I'm not crazy about Holy Light, and we'll go here. So 3 or a 5, probably looking at the 5 here. We already have a Grizzly. We've gotten a couple taunts at this point, so let's go with the Spiteful Smith. And if it can play with one of our weapons being attacked, that's great. Attached, that's great. If not, then it's alright as well. It does have to be enraged for your weapon to get that +2 attack thing. Consecration, we need some more removal. I do like this 7, but we only have 3 more cards to draw, and we really only have a 1 or 2 cards that are on the removal side of things. Consecration is a good one. It's good to have at least 1 in your deck as a Paladin. Alright, I like the Stormwind Knight okay, although we have a lot of 4s. Our graph here might tell us to go 1, and this does give a friendly minion +2 attack. Let's see what our 4s are. We've got 1 weapon, 2 spells, 4 spells, 2nd minion, 3rd minion, 4th minion, 5th minion. This does have charge, which would be something other than Leroy. That would be something new for our 4s, but I think we're going to go 1 here, unfortunately. Okay, so probably get another 2. We don't want another 4. We're not going to be casting many spells, so we're going to go Mana Wraith here. So this is our deck. Yesterday with our Warrior deck, the 2 was all the way almost to the top. And The 3 was about in the same place, and 4 was lower, like down to here. So this is, I think when people talk about being a slower deck, I guess in comparison this would be a slower deck, but it's really not a slow deck because there's not enough cards down here. If I'm understanding that terminology right, which who knows, I may not be. But this is an interesting curve, and we do have some interesting cards. I think it'll be very, very situational based on what cards come up at what point in the game. But we should be able to do okay. Hopefully, get a win or two on the minimum side, and we'll go from there. We want a solid start here. That's what we want. Now what will we get? All those 4s make me a little nervous.
Uther versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer.
I will fight with honor.
Let's just get a fresh draw here. Probably about equal to the draw we had last time. I mean, not much better, but not a lot worse either. We can go ahead and intimidate a little here on turn 1. Turn 2, unless we get a really good draw, is probably going to be reinforce and see what the shaman does. He may just put out a totem with his mana crystal, or pull out a 2 minion, or just wait till turn 2. All right, we don't want to play this on turn 2 because there's no friendly minion to give Divine Shield to. So we'll reinforce, and the chances are we're not going to get something with charge for turn 3. So it would be nice to go ahead and get this down to 1 health.
Job's done.
The only thing that we hope doesn't happen is that if he does go totem again, that he doesn't get the one that does healing.
A blessing?
Well, that's just as bad. Well, we can either reinforce again. We can definitely take out the taunt. We can reinforce again and have 2 separate targets, or we can put the 2/2 out and give that Divine Shield.
For justice. The battle.
That is the decision to be made here. If we reinforce again, we don't have a 3 yet. And the only 4 that we have right now would be probably to draw a card. Let's just go ahead and get this out here, especially since he has this. This will force him most likely to go ahead and trade and get rid of his Priestess, since it only has 1 health, unless he has another taunt. But since we have a durability on our weapon, we're probably okay either way, whether we have to take out a taunt first or not. Okay, so he can do that. He's still going to lose his Priestess. Guess he's thinking go ahead and get some damage on us before he does lose it. Okay. If we play the Mana Wraith here, that means on turn 5 we're not going to be able to get our taunt down. But we could go Mana Wraith and reinforce, which would be nice. Set us up pretty well for next turn. I guess the question here is, no, I don't think that's worth doing. We're going to save our weapon. pull out Mana Wraith and reinforce. And we are going to save the weapon. If he wants to use a durability on his weapon, he can take the Mana Wraith out. But he has to take the damage, and that still leaves our 2 recruits on the board. And at that point, we would be able to pull out the taunt next turn, since the Mana Wraith would be dead. Thing we want to be careful about with the Shaman is not letting him dictate the pace of the match with his totems. So we want to start getting some damage on him. We'll just roll right through those totems. Since the Mana Wraith is alive still, we cannot pull the taunt out. However, we can go ahead and get our Worgen Infiltrator out. Or we could go ahead and draw a card. No, I think we'll do this.
I smell blood.
Reporting for duty.
And we are going to start doing some damage here.
The battle! The battle!
He's getting plus to spell damage, but he's also looking at taking 7 damage next turn unless he uses one of his spells to clear the board. Which, yeah, I guess in one sense would stink, but we have a taunt that would then come out. So it'd give us some time to recover. We still have our weapon. The thing that I don't like is he's only down to 23 health, and he really hasn't used any, hardly any cards. He's mostly just used totems, and that's what he's going to do again. So, does look like he's gonna. Does look like he might use his weapon to take out something. No, he's going to save it. So we got another Raptor here, which is interesting. He took out the Mana Wraith by turning it into a frog, so it almost helps us because now we can get one of our taunts up. This one actually does more damage, so we may just pull the one that's lower cost. But we've got to get that out, and I don't mind having the stealth be visible. It allows us to do marginally more damage this turn, and one way or the other he's going to have to sort of focus on our taunt. We've got a total of 5 health split between 2 taunts right now, and we only played 1 card that turn.
Pay attention, class.
Let's see how many. He'll have 1. Okay, so he's just going to go Ancestral Spirit on it. Not a bad play because it go ahead and gets that to summon a minion. So this is fun. We can go Divine Shield, take that out for the first time, and then it'll come back to play. And then we could technically take it out again, just so that we don't let him get this build up going. And it's 7 mana. I think that's what we'll do.
Not on my watch.
The downside is we're not attacking him, but
Pay attention, class.
First kill.
3, 4, 5. So we're trading all of these little minions, but we're keeping him from building up, and I'm okay with that. We can always reinforce again if we want to. We can do Consecrate, it's a little bit of a waste, or we can just get our Raptor out. I think we'll get Raptor, Reinforce, and we're going to hold on to our weapon. I may just hold on to the weapon until our other weapon comes into our hand, unless there's a really compelling time to use it. So that thing has 7 health. If we attack it, we've got to kill it. Alright. So if we go 2 damage, that puts it down to 5. We could then kill it with our taunt. Or we could kill it with Raptor and this, and then we don't take the chance of it getting out of control. I think that's probably the play, because it also kills everything else on his side of the table. So now the question is, are we willing to just give up our 1 taunt when we have another one in our back pocket? That would leave 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Or do we want to take that out? It would still leave 6 damage and we'd have the taunt. So I think that's what we'll do. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do.
This is my responsibility.
I'll take him out.
The battle!
We're doing an unusual amount of trading, I would say.
Me and Mr. White.
And I say that probably just from coming off of playing that warrior deck. In a lot of those situations, I just ignored whatever they put out and just went right after right to the face just to get them. So there's a good play. Big taunt. He just took out our biggest damage by taking out our taunt. This has 8. This would give it 5, which would be pretty much everything we have just to take that out. And then we would pull probably the Grizzly out, I guess. But we can't do anything until it's gone anyway. We don't have any other pirates. So, you know, might as well.
The battle!
Alright. I think we'll go
Trust the pirates.
Reporting for
with
duty.
that. And he only has 6 mana this turn because of the overload from last turn. So this is an interesting match. It's lasting longer than a lot of arena matches do. Of course, he got the taunt totem. His weapon's gone now, so that's good. So I think the play here may be, well, I don't know. We could give this +4/+4. We also could do that with the taunt, though. I think that's what we'll do. Give this +4/+4, and then take out this with this, trade his Murloc, and then we'll be able to attack with 4 attack to his face.
Scurvy dog.
We still have the 1 weapon left. We have 6 attack. 7 damage. Plus the weapon would be 8. We're getting him down here, so I think I don't want to just sit on cards, but also don't want to put everything out there. Maybe it makes sense to go ahead and do this. So he either needs to be offensive here with spells or with minions that have charge. Or he has to put up a taunt. It looks like neither were an option. So there we have our first victory with this Paladin deck. And it played alright. It was a slower deck, much slower than the matches we had yesterday. And I guess that's just a reflection of, instead of a full bar of 2s, we have a full bar of 4s, and that, I guess that was the noticeable difference. It also was a reflection of how that shaman played the match. He spent a lot of time early game trying to divert our attention from him with his totems and an occasional card or minion here or there, and then he tried to ramp it up late game. And the key turn probably was when he put out his big card that was a 7/8 and had overload on it. And I think if we hadn't been able to take that card out on our following turn, if we had allowed him to get an attack in and then play something on top of it, that may have been the turning point where the match could have gone in his favor. But fortunately, we had enough resources on the table and in our hand to take it out before it ever attacked. So. Round 2.
Uther versus Jaina.
There's a shocker. It's a
I
mage.
will fight with honor.
Hello.
Well met.
My magic will tear you apart.
Thank you.
Okay. Swarm.
I'm sorry.
So here, what we're probably going to do this turn is go ahead and put our Raptor out turn 2, and really hope that it can last. And then what we'll do on round 3 is give it plus attack and get a good attack in, because in round 3 we'll be able to do Abusive Sergeant plus Recruit. The other option, of course, is to put Thrallmar down with Wind Fury, and I suppose if there's nothing on the board, sorry about that, mage. It's probably not what you were counting on.
Thank you.
So she has 1 mana. She could go ahead and play the crystal, and then so she's gonna throw 2 cards at this poor little raptor. So we got rid of an arcane missile and a frostbolt. But she did get it off the board. So now we're at a little bit of a different place, I'd say. We could still do Recruit first and then give it... No, you wouldn't want to do that because it's only for this turn. I'm glad I noticed that. We're going to put another minion out here. This is a minion that she's not going to want to let just sit there for too long with Wind Fury. So let's see what resources she will put towards it. This is kind of fun. What's she going to do to take out our minion? That did not take it out, unfortunately. So now we're at 4, which we could return this poor guy to our hand after all that damage he took. Or we can go ahead and give it +2 attack. And that will be 4 attack twice, and goodness, then we could also give it Divine Shield.
Get in there and fight, maggot. I see your end.
So now the question is, do we want to trade here? We either ignore it and go straight to the face, or if we give a Divine Shield on this guy, we could go ahead and trade. The thing that I would be nervous about playing another minion this turn
Tear you apart.
is is just not knowing what the mage is going to play here, and not wanting to put so many minions up that one easy blizzard or whatever could just take everything down. So she's going to just trade. She still has 2 mana left. I guess that's all she has. Alright, so we can go ahead and get our weapon out. Really no point in doing Divine Shield right now, I would say. There's nothing to send back to our hand. I guess we could do Divine Shield just for fun. It's kind of weird. Just kind of weird. Might just sit on that 2 mana. It would be nice to put Divine Shield on something a little more valuable, I'd say. Okay, so we're going to do Hammer of Wrath here. And then we can trade. We also get to draw a card, which is a good little card. We have 2 left, so I think probably the play is to go ahead and get this one out here. It does twice as much damage as the little fellow that we could pull out would do.
I smell blood. For justice.
And now that we have another weapon in our hand, we do need to start using that. We'll use the weapon every turn now, one way or the other, most likely, until it's gone, since we have another Light's Justice just sitting in our hand. Now, this next turn, potentially, we can pull the War Golem out. So that used half her mana. She can still pull something out. I don't know that we necessarily need to do that. Alright, let's just pull the War Golem out.
For justice.
If she has single target removal in her hand right now, this would be a great time to use it. We haven't gotten any of our taunts. So anything we put out there is just a little bit vulnerable. So she had to freeze with Cone of Cold, which really is a little more useful when you've got minions around it, but we can freeze her her spell damage. And that would still leave us 2 to give, probably a Divine Shield there.
Not on my watch.
For justice.
I think that's an interesting play. Again, you know, there are a lot of plays available to her right now, just depend on what she has in her card. She can use her hero ability to take the Divine Shield off. Apparently she just wants to attack. That's a good play. Flame Strike. Well, there's one Flame Strike. She could always have another one, but
Well played.
we've seen one of them now.
Thank you.
Now we don't have a lot to play here. I think we will go ahead and get the Brewmaster out.
I'll put it on your justice. Reporting for duty.
We could have taken her Ogre's damage down to 1, but we still have an 8 health lead, and so I'm fairly comfortable with holding back on that in case she has some bigger minions in her deck that could come out this turn or next turn. So there's Divine Shield. We can trade with if our minion's still alive. She doesn't have enough mana to take out our Silverhand recruit with her Fireball, so we're going to be able to trade there at least to get the Divine Shield off. Alright, and this probably is a time when we might need to consider using Humility.
To battle.
We know we want to do that. So if we king the Brewmaster, we can then take this out and we won't lose this minion. And then we can summon this and change the ogre's damage to 4. And that means it would be 1. That means they'd be able to do 4 damage. Still could trade and take it out, but that would pretty much well, that's interesting. If we change that attack to 1, then it's not going to hardly damage us on the front end.
Another round?
So now she has some choices to make. The problem is she's got more cards in her hand. We're now much closer in terms of health. She does need to do something about this card, though. I don't know if she'll trade with it or if she has another Flame Strike or who knows what else is in the mage deck at this point. But she certainly doesn't want to take 9 damage. She must have something because she's going straight after me. Wow. It's too bad. Too bad we didn't get a taunt or something to make her pay for that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We just can't do the damage. All she has to do is her special ability.
Well played.
So that's going to be it.
Thank you.
That is going to be it. This does 2 damage. Take that out.
Reporting for duty.
We would have really needed a heal there or a taunt. No, a taunt wouldn't have been enough. We would have needed a taunt a round before because all she has to do is her hero ability. So we were one turn away from victory, but we needed at least some other sort of card to have been out the turn before. But that was a very close match. I don't know. Losing like that isn't near as bad as when you just get rolled. So a loss is still a loss, though, and we are now 1-1 with our Paladin deck. I'd have to review the tape to be able to say for sure, but I think our one mistake that we made in that last match was overplaying. Back when we saw the Flame Strike, I think we had maybe 1 minion out more than we needed to at that point. Before you see the Flame Strikes, we probably would have been better off holding back a little bit. Because after that Flame Strikes, we put the War Golem out and we put it out with nothing else around it. So anyway, we have a 2-3-4. Okay, we could get rid of that 3. It's a pretty good starting hand, though, just in terms of mana spread. Now that's even better. We'll take that for sure. And we're playing a Warlock, so if they do nothing round 1, it will be tempting. It will be tempting to get either the Raptor or the Mana Wraith out here early. The only other thing is if we wait round 3, we can get the Chillwind Yeti out, but I think we're going to do this. Now the Warlock certainly has the ability for 2 mana with the right removal spells in his hand to get rid of that. Okay, so it's a good trade for him. I mean, if we don't just attack, then all we could do is take this out and he'd still have 1 damage advantage there. But now the question is, I think we're just going to go reinforce here, because if we want to take that out, all we need is 1 damage. So we're not going to play our Mana Wraith yet.
Reporting for duty.
Now we have the choice of going Mana Wraith or
Mind if I roll knee?
Mana Wraith or Pirate here.
Trust the pirate's code.
The thing about Mana Wraith is he would have been able to just take it out and trade again evenly. We want to flip it here where he has to do more than just use the minions on the board to take out our minion. At least get a spell out of him. So round 4 we can either Kings this if it's still around and get a good round of damage out of it, or we can go Mana Wraith. If he happened to put up something that had 3 health that we just wanted to get rid of, we could do that as well.
So many possibilities.
If you can get to start a lead in terms of health against a warlock, it works to your favor for sure, because if they're drawing extra cards with their special ability, they're doing little damage to themselves anyway. Let's see what he's going to play here.
Almost out of time.
It's a good play for him because we don't want to leave that up. Next round would be awful if he can summon for 2 less. So we can either
Let me
Kings this, or we can just go Light's Justice. I think that's probably the least wasteful way to handle that. And we will get
scurvy dog.
Mana Wraith out now. And what this does is it means on turn 5 we can get Chillwind Yeti out because it's 1 more. And whatever his plans were for some big bad minion, it's now actually 1 more expensive instead of 2 cheaper as it would have been with the Summoning Portal. So that was the trade that we didn't want to happen earlier. So looking back, maybe Reinforce is a better play there, I don't know. But we still have this Pirate, and
My eyes are open.
he's back to 30 health. And was able to draw, so I don't really know what the play is here. We want a 4-5 out or a 4-6 with the chance of enraging it.
Let me think.
They are bent.
Scurvy dog.
I'm saving the weapon for a little bit because we don't have another one yet, and it's hard to say how long it'll take to enrage the smith if we're able to at all, so we want to at least hold on to that possibility.
So many possibilities.
He's up to 6 mana, so we could start to see some uglies at this point. And in terms of our next play, everything is kind of on the table right now. He must have a spell to take out that smith.
Almost out of
I'll get right on
So let's see. We played a 5 mana card. And he took it out with 7 mana. I guess that's okay. He has more cards than us. Hey, Leroy. I'm glad to see you. So we're going to go stealth here.
I smell scurvy. For justice.
And we'll go ahead and get another point of damage out of him. Be really nice if when we summon Leroy we have a taunt on the board. But we don't have many taunts. I think we've got 2 or 3 and we have not been drawing them so far. At least not in the last game. In the first game I think we drew them all, but let's see what comes next.
Possibilities.
We have 5 attack on the board, but one of them is stealthed.
Let the pain speak to me.
So we'll trade with that because we don't want to give him. Honestly, we'll probably trade with both of them. I don't know if that just means he didn't have a
Scurvy dog.
clear play or just wanted to get us to do this and trade. There's nothing that we would necessarily play that different if the Mana Wraith wasn't there. If we leave Mana Wraith up, it can just take this out, which is not a favorable trade. So we're going to clear his side of the board. Now we have 7 mana. We don't have anything on the board to take out the whelp, so we don't want to put Leroy down. I think we just want to get the Yeti out. And then
I wonder. I must move quickly.
we're not going to Argent Protector yet.
For justice.
Reporting for duty.
Trying not to make the same mistake as last game and overcommit too quickly. But this is different going against a Warlock in comparison to a Mage. This next turn may be an okay time to pull out Leroy. Depends on how many of our minions are still up. I want to play Leroy just because it's fun. And it's an unusual card that you don't get to see every match for sure. So we'll do that if we can. If it makes sense. We can do Kings and Leroy, really. In fact, we could Kings Leroy just for fun.
I've got a huge gun.
We are going to want to take out this fella. We could Kings our little minion here and take him out. And then maybe get the Dragonling mechanic out. Although the other thing we could do is give this a divine shield now and take it out. That would be kind of mean. In a good way, I mean.
Not on my watch.
The battle!
And we still can recruit. We're going to go ahead and do that. We've got him down to 15 health, and we've still got some pretty good cards available. There were several different plays there that we could make. I liked that one though. If he doesn't, I'm sure he will, but if he doesn't take our minions out or put up some taunt, some strong taunt, then it's game over either way. Because we have the damage that we can do, 6 damage from Leroy or 4 damage from our weapon, which always also heals us. So lots of possibilities, and he's in a little bit of a difficult place here, unless he's got a really good taunt card or a really powerful spell. He definitely wants to take the 5 damage off the board, and if possible neutralize this as well, just to either neutralize it offensively or with the taunt.
Drink with me, friend.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help that much either. That helps some. 4, 9, 10, 16, and that's 18.
Well played. The battle! The battle! For justice!
So there was just too much damage on the table with what we had in our hand, so victory for the Paladin. So that gets us our 2 wins. That last one was a nice, even-paced victory. We were able to keep control of the battlefield and not overcommit either, so I liked the tempo of that last match, for us at least.
Uther versus Rexar.
Okay, Hunter.
Let the hunt begin. I will fight with honor.
A lot of Hunter decks. This is a pretty good draw. A lot of Hunter decks are going to be faster decks than what we've seen in our earlier opponents. So we need to sort of be ready for that. A good early card to get. You can really put the cards you want in your hand.
For justice!
Round 2, we'll probably use mana coin and get out our taunt. It takes 3 mana to do the random animal companion, so we're not going to see that. We're just going to go straight to us. Next round, we would expect to see something like the animal companion played.
For justice!
Now next round, we'll have to see what he does, but we've got 2 3s here. We could always reinforce if we don't like those plays though. So he gets the stronger version of the bear.
Greetings, traveler. Well met.
the raid leader would give us enough attack to just trade his bear for ours. Oh, which, you know, they're both 3 mana cost cards, but we've got to take care of that taunt that he's got up. Unfortunately, it would just take care of ours as well. It would leave a 2 attack up to start next round. But that's only the only good option we have, other than damaging ourselves to trade here. We've got
For justice.
1 durability left on the weapon. So now we're looking at possible Yeti play. And if this is still on the board, that's going to put Yeti at 5 attack. Such a good 4 mana cost card, even without the buff.
Silver Moon shall not fall.
So he can trade without taking damage. We could hit him, take the 3 damage, and then take him off the board. We get to draw a card. I kind of like that play. If we just play the Yeti here, we can attack him for 2, and then he's got this card still on the board with Divine Shield, which just don't want to let the hunter get built up here. There's a Sunwalker.
Very hard.
So now in round 5, based on what he does, we may want to go ahead and get our taunt up. Huh. That could be a problem. We don't have anything with charge. He's going to be able to enrage off of this. If we put taunt up, he won't be able to, though. I think taunt's the only play here. We don't have a way of...
Get behind me.
Now, we could trade here. We could trade so that he doesn't get a cheaper minion out. And the question is it worth him having a cheaper minion and us getting this buff?
Hit it very hard.
I think I'd rather him not get cheaper minions. Because on round 6, we have another taunt possibility, or... Yeah, I think this is the safer play. It's not. It goes against my instinct. My instinct is to attack, but he would be pulling out a 7 mana minion right now potentially if we left that, or you know, a 4 mana minion for 3 cost, and then another 3 mana minion on top of that, which is probably more likely with the hunter deck. It's a good play. He can take out the tank. Sorry, the taunt card, the bodyguard, if he would like, although it will destroy his Worgen. That was a good play.
Truth is my shield.
Not a lot of options for us. Not wanting to take that damage. Not wanting to put something out there that allows for him to enrage. So at the minimum, what we put out there has to have 3 attack. If this is still up next turn, we could Kings it. Attack him and then take out his Worgen.
Give me a quest.
Oh, another card we don't want to allow just to sit out there. He's got 13 attack on the board right now, so he's gonna wait and just let us do our thing. I think we have to take out. You know, we could take a random minion here. This is interesting here. And then we can still take out another one.
Mental dislocator.
We can still take out his questing, which is honestly is the next card of concern for me. And that allows us to still trade with the Worgen either way here. We'll probably do this. And, well, let's see. This is the one that can get built up as well, so I hate to trade, but I'm going to. I'm gonna have to trade in that instance. That mind control tech we just played that took one of his minions. I can't tell you. I mean, there's been so many games when I've had him. When I have, oh, this is a great time for Leroy Jenkins. The only thing we need to watch though, like I think I'm gonna summon this because I don't know what his secret is. Wouldn't that have sucked? That would have killed Leroy. Now those two minions we just gave him, there's nothing we can do about it, but they can take out the taunt.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Justice shall prevail.
That's a nice play. He can now take out both of them.
At least I had chicken. Thanks.
Yeah, he does need to thank me because me playing Leroy Jenkins there actually turned the tide in a big way for him. So we can freeze this with this card. We can kings this and give it 7 attack. But we're down to 7 health, so we got to do some trading, unfortunately. That's only going to leave 3 mana, though.
Reporting for duty.
Depends on what card he draws. Depends on what card he draws. That's a good card to draw. We have only a little bit of time here before this little shindig is going to be over. We need 6. We've got to take this out.
I wonder.
Which we can kings this, and then he would just have 2 damage there, but then he'll have his special ability, so that'll be 4, and we've got to do 15 damage pretty quick. So I'm not sure that there's a play that really allows that to happen.
I wonder.
It's probably better at the end of the day for us to kings this. So we really just need whatever gives us the most attack. Probably this. Do this. Got to take this out. We can attack him for 1. But all his beasts have charge, so there's a good chance that's game over.
Well played.
That's all she wrote.
Well played. Okay.
So that was the that was a loss. Basically because of Leroy Jenkins. We can blame that loss on Leroy. So the way to not let that happen would have been, because we did have a taunt up, but the taunt only had 2 health. The way to not let that happen would be to play Leroy when you have cards on the table you're comfortable with trading to get rid of the 2 serpents or little dragons that come up. So, and I know that, and I didn't stick to it. So, a good win for the Hunter. So we are 2-2 and on the ropes.
Uther versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
That loss is going to bother me for a while. That's a pretty good draw. Ooh, War Golem.
Well met.
So we're playing Paladin. We gotta.
Demands retribution.
I didn't want to just trade Raptors with him, so if he wants to trade, he can, and that also means that he can't play a minion that was a 2-cost minion. He only will play a 1. It really doesn't work to our advantage either.
What does the future hold?
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Leroy. I don't want to see you right now, Leroy. Alright. I love this Shattered Sun Cleric. It's such a good card. 3-3. We could put a 3-3 out there just for fun.
Reporting for duty.
I went with the Raptor because if they trade with their Cleric, which probably won't, at least this way they're 1 mana in the deficit. Kind of an early consecration. That tells me that this Paladin named Rampager is counting on an early victory, most likely. So we'll kind of go with the same thing we did last time.
Reporting for duty.
He's got a 10 health advantage on us right now. But don't worry, we got Leroy.
Follow the rules.
He's throwing everything in the kitchen sink at us.
Reporting for duty.
We are having a hard time with this.
Reporting for
These
duty.
exchanges are just not going our way. The only reason why I left instead of trading minions there, since we're down in health, was because if there's any chance we're going to play Leroy Jenkins anytime soon, I want some small minions up to take care of the other serpent.
Let me
Put this
think.
apple on your head.
This guy is stacked with the best cards, the best of the best cards is what it looks like this guy has in his deck. It's quite disgusting. We need Consecrate right now. Oh. The only reason why he might hold back on playing a card is thinking that we could have Consecrate, but Rampager, we don't have Consecrate. I mean, all we can do, we could maybe take out the Juggler with our Yeti and then throw the Yeti back in our deck.
Must move quickly.
So he is going to do some trading, it looks like. He is playing so aggressive. It is just awesome. 3, 6, 9, 10.
Reporting for duty.
There's a lot of things we need to do. One thing we need to do is get that Juggler off the board.
For the king!
Oh my goodness. Is there any way I could get his hand? He hasn't damaged us in a while. I mean, he's going to this time, but... And he put a secret down. And he put a secret down, folks. Alright. Let's think about this. I don't think there's anything we can do. We've only got 8 health left. We could take out this annoying guy.
I wonder.
Put this apple on your head.
I could scream right now. So he still is going to have 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. All we can do is get it down to 9. And then 7. I mean, we may be able to live one more.
Let me think.
For justice. For justice.
Doesn't even make sense to do that.
I'll put it. I must move quickly. Justice demands retribution. Reporting for duty.
I am sorry.
That is game over, folks. No, I don't know if there was a better play there to make to last one more round, but I don't think there was. I think it was game over no matter how I finagled those cards around. Oh, bad card draw. He had incredible card draw and even just card selection. A lot of my favorite cards he had coming out just one right after the other. So look like he has a good Paladin deck. Rampager, I think you might go far in this run. Okay, well, there is a 2-win, 3-loss arena, bringing us back down to reality here after a 9-win arena yesterday. And let's see if we get... I haven't finished today's daily, so the daily will push us over the 150 gold mark, but if we get any gold here, this might as well. 10. Pretty good gold, actually, considering. So we're at 160 gold. Alright, thank you for watching, and a 2-3 Paladin run. Could have been better. Mistakes were made, but I don't think that deck would have gone too much farther in terms of a run in arena. Until next time.
Bye bye, Nods.